course, the call comes through. Good evening, good evening, good evening, and happy Wednesday. How y'all doing? Y'all, we're making it, and I'm so grateful, so thankful. Y'all, we made it the week, and we're at the midday. We're at the mid. That's at the midday. We're at the midpoint, and y'all, I'm excited about it. Happy Wednesday, happy Hump Day. We're making it. Prayerfully, your day was just as amazing as you needed it to be. We're excited about it. Today, it's another episode of Poppy's Conversation Corner, and we're talking about legacy. Yes, I'm excited about it. What will you be remembered for? Who thinks about that? Do you think about it? Comment in the section below. Let us know if you think about what your legacy is going to look like, how you want to be remembered. What would that look like? Like, share, and comment on this video. We have a great viral sensation on this evening. He went viral, y'all. I don't know how he did it, but he posted some video and it went viral. I don't even know if he likes to talk about it, but we're going to hit on it because that's a part of his legacy. He went viral at least once in his life. And I know he's trying to do it again. I know he's trying, but we're going to talk about it tonight. And Mikey, can you cut it because he is calling me? So I do kind of want him more here. Sorry. How y'all doing? How you doing? How are you doing? Happy Wednesday. Y'all, we made it. Midweek. The hump day. It's been a day, and I'm excited because we made it to this point where we get to have another episode of Poppy's Conversation Corner. And today, we're talking about legacy. Yes. What will you be remembered for? Like, comment. Let us know what you want to be remembered for, what you plan on being remembered for, what it looks like in the shape of what you want to be remembered for. Y'all comment down there, like, share, and comment. That's the third one. Yes, like, share, and comment. Y'all, it's Poppy's Conversation Corner, and we're here every week, 6:30, having these conversations with some awesome people. Today, we have viral sensation. Can I say that? Because I don't think it's in his contract. But he went viral. And I know that's a part of his legacy. He planned on this. He planned on that. That's one guy. And then the other guy is going to be remembered for because he's known as the choir master of the Midwest. Well, one of them, I'm assuming. But anyhow, y'all, I have some phenomenal guests on today, and I'm excited to be able to talk to them. And let's have some real conversation on legacy. Y'all, let's bring them on. Rameco Lattimore, Amos Goodwin. Let's talk, y'all. Come on. In the room. Like now. Like now. Like right now. Let's have a conversation. There we go. That was kind of like not a good entrance, but I tried, y'all. It didn't work.
You did
I
good.
Put my
did.
finger up. I put my
Yeah.
finger up.
Oh, okay. That's what it was.
When I was
So,
backstage, I put my finger up.
okay. Because I was like, something's not going on right. Like this, it made me look real smart because I said right now, and it never came. But anyway, how y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Doing all right.
Glad to
Doing all
know.
right.
How
How
are
are
you?
you?
I'm good. I'm good. You two actually, because we didn't really get chance backstage. You two actually don't know each other, right?
No.
Not. No.
Yeah. So Rameco, this is Amos. Amos, this is Rameco.
Nice
Um,
to.
Rameco is the Ricky Dillard of Cincinnati of the Midwest. He's actually one of Ricky's grand no, sons.
Fashion
And
designer. Fashion designer. That's all.
this is Ricky Dillard's son, Rameco Lattimore. And Amos, his family is the famous Amos cookies. You may have heard of them. This is
Oh, I just had
the
it back
legacy.
yesterday.
Yeah, this is the legacy of famous Amos. So I mean, you said what? No, no. But Amos, you did go viral though, right?
I'm trying to figure out which video you talking about?
I heard that there's a viral video of you dancing on.
Okay, see, because so you were mentioning it, and I'm sitting here thinking like, which video is he talking about? But I'm thinking I know which one you're talking about. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I guess it went a little bit more than I expected. It did get out there a bit, yeah.
So that wasn't planned though. You just
No,
thought you was
definitely was
posting a
not.
video.
I wasn't even expecting to do what I was doing in that video at all.
Um,
I mean, of course, like like doing the step part. Of course, I
yeah.
was there to do that, but I wasn't expecting to have a whole crowd on me, and yeah, being in the middle like that. But
Okay.
turned out how
Okay.
it did.
Okay. So just because you're talking right now, just tell us who you are. I mean, we see your name, but who are you?
Yeah, of course. So my name is Amos Goodwin. I am a case manager and group facilitator here at Poppy's Therapeutic Corner. I work here at Rockdale over in Avondale. Yeah, I'm currently in school right now, getting my MSW currently. And just like the video we're talking about, I do step aerobics. So yeah, here we are.
I actually seen it live, y'all. It's it's something to see. Now I don't know about doing it, but it's definitely something to see because that was a lot of work. I saw that down at Washington Park. I saw you. I was gonna record you, but I didn't want to do that. You already went viral once. I ain't about to help you again. So, Rameco, tell us who you are. Yeah.
All right. So first of all, let me tell you, I am struggling over here with these glasses. I am new to glasses, and I'm blind. So I'm trying to figure out if I should hold my head this way so I can see y'all.
No, please don't. Please don't. Please don't. Just look forward. Look forward.
My phone is right here, and I read. I can see down here in this top. It got to be so. Anyway, I'm Rameco Lattimore, everybody, and I am a 25-year licensed hairstylist, 5 years salon owner. I have a community choir here in the city. I manage hotels for the Hilton brand. And Kerry, was that for me?
Yeah, because
I'm telling.
you just gonna say I have a group here in the city and then not even gonna name it. Like
Oh,
I want to take offense to that. Sorry.
I have a community choir here by the name of Rameco Lattimore and TWC,
Whoop,
which
whoop,
stands for
whoop.
the True Worship Chorale. I'm a member of the legendary Gospel Grammy Award winning Charles Four Singers and Gospel Dove Grammy Stellar Award winning for Ricky Diller and New Generation Chorale. So I kind of do a lot, but yeah, that's a little bit about me. I am 45 next month, and I no to August.
I was
Dang, I
about
feel
to
like
say
it's July
not
already.
next month.
It's August, but yeah, that's it. So I'm excited to be here on today, and yeah, and chat with Carrie and
And
Amos.
Amos. Yeah. Well, anywho, thank y'all for joining us. It's been a journey. Only us three know to get to this point, and we are excited to have this conversation because it took so much. Like I'm talking about, these are some busy guys. Amos is actually a little bit more flexible with us. Thank you, Amos. I will. So I do owe down. I do owe you. Oh,
I remember
so if I,
that.
so if I hit you up, just be like this payback. Miko, look at God now. Look at it. Just black screen right now. See, this has really been the struggle that we've had. But y'all, we're gonna jump into it, have this conversation because people have stuff to do. So when you think about your legacy, when you think about the word legacy, what comes to mind? Amos, since you like already right. Go ahead.
I've been thinking about this for a while. When I hear legacy, I think the first thing that comes to mind is the relationships that I've built, definitely for sure. Um, but not even necessarily about like, exactly like, what title someone specifically holds, because I do feel as though that titles eventually fade. I feel like just work evolves, like the work itself, whatever it is that I may be doing, regardless if it's via social work or rather it's via stepping. But I feel like just the people that I make connections with is definitely the main thing that I think about for sure. I definitely want to make sure that whatever legacy that I do build for myself, I want to make sure that it's noted in a way that in a way that it shows in a way that I've showed up for people. I think that
Mhm.
makes sense. And like
No, it does.
and how I created like a certain space for people to be like their selves, how like I show empathy to other people and how I expect that in return, um yeah, I think that's usually what I typically think about when I hear legacy.
I love it. I love it. I'm gonna before we jump in, before I jump on you, I'm gonna go to Ramiko, ask the same question just to see where his mind is because I know he didn't
Yeah.
hear the question. So we're gonna say, Ramik, when you think of legacy, what comes to your mind? Like, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
I'm sorry I didn't hear the question because I had a call come through and my camera went black. I couldn't figure out how to turn it back on. I had to turn it off. I had to leave and come back. What legacy means to me is it's pretty much leaving behind something that people will always remember of you, or yeah, of you, and it's super super important as I'm learning a little more and more. Is your kindness goes a long way.
Mhm.
You being you is a great thing for you, but it isn't always so good for other people. And so sometimes you have to venture out from that you portion of life to you being more understanding, more compassionate of everybody has to be able to have things broken down to them a little better. And what greater way for a legacy of being left behind for you is for people to at least understand and appreciate that although you were you, you were just as compassionate and just as kind, because you being you can just be a nasty person, and people don't really too much care for that. And yeah, so what are people able to remember you of? What are people able to go back and say, he or she, or we're in these days now, they
They and
or
them,
yeah,
because I'm
they and
them.
them, we're in those days now, just so we just have to accept whether we love it or not. you know um what did they do, to make us appreciate them, when they were here, or even, now, not even when you're dead and gone, but even now.
Yeah, I heard so much in both of yours. Um, One thing I do know, because I hear it all the time, like so, like I hang around a lot of older people who like to reminisce, and just like even being in like the church scene and stuff. You know how you talk about people like, oh, in Cincinnati, choir music was a thing back in the day, and they love to talk about Bobby King. But when they talk about him, it's like, oh, he threw books at you and he put you out of choir rehearsal. And they love on that stuff though. Like that's what they remember. Like that man was like a hard hitting like choir director. I used to have one of those type of directors. That's what I was hoping that his legacy was gonna be. But then he turned soft because then like I guess you over time you do start worrying about like how people are gonna like receive you and stuff. Like,
Receiving.
is that a thing for you guys though? Like at this point in your life?
Well, if I could step in first, I kind of feel like you're talking about me. I think what has to happen is that um, after a while, you know, what you were, who you were, has to eventually come to some type of change. Now some people are just genuinely, compassionate, caring, nice people, and some people just aren't. I am one that was never one of those compassionate people. I was, given to them the way they need to be given to them, and then I had to change a lot of those things. So with that, I just think for some people over time, it just takes life experiences for you to realize that just ain't what's up.
I
So
love it. I love it. What about you, Amos? Like,
No, I
you ever?
definitely agree as well. And I feel like even just being at like, the age that I am at right now, like, well, I mean, I don't want to my opinion out there. Like, I'm about to be 24, like, next month. So anyways, but I definitely feel like there's still a long amount of growth for me. I definitely can see that, I've had a tremendous growth just through my experiences through college, just being able even like when I started working in this mental health field, like I definitely feel like that has given me a brighter just perspective of the whole like world as a whole, who I communicate with. um I definitely feel as though that the main thing for me is that I'm learning a lot more about like how to be patient, how to put myself in other people's shoes, to where I feel like that's what helps me stay grounded and what helps me just kind of like change my overall mindset about a lot of different things that just goes on in my day to day life. So yeah, that's kind of where I am with that right now.
I love it.
Just continuing to find ways to change in best ways that again tying back into this whole conversation as far as how I'm going to be perceived to other people and like my legacy in it. So
Hmm.
So that just kind of helps segue into this next question. So, has there been a moment, or was there a moment when you realized? I mean, because now we talking. You said 24. So yeah. But this is still a good question. Has there been a moment when you realized that you were already building your legacy, like
um
24 years old? Have
I
you
can
folks
definitely
thought about that?
I can definitely think of a couple different like specific situations, but as I mentioned before, like I well so before I became a step instructor, I definitely was not. This was not like on my. I feel like bucket list or like my vision board I should say. Like I was not expecting to be where I am now when it comes to like being in the fitness field, being in the mental health field as far as I am now. But I feel like all the connections that I've made have definitely just came a long way. So when I started working in this specific field, specifically, I feel like the small interactions that could shift someone's like entire day, entire mindset. The like when my kids specifically, like I or students, I should say, like I definitely feel as though that um, I I'm very empathetic with my kids. Like, I definitely feel as though that, they have a safe space with me 24/7. So just seeing like, um, the consistency that I give to them, the care that I give to them is already showing how I feel like that I'll be remembered. And I feel like those moments just help as a whole. Or even like, when I'm teaching a certain class, like, I hear a student come up to me like after or a stepper, I should say, come up to me and say like, I've shown this amount of growth or I've showed this amount of progress, and you don't even know how much like I sit and pray like every night for you, like or how much I talk to my husband about like how much you've helped me grow. And, those things just I feel like just keep me going in a way, and it just fulfills me. So
I
yeah.
love that. I love that. So Ramiko, I know in your like 50 years of living, like have you realized or come to a realization point that you're already building your legacy?
Well, at 44 years old, I most definitely, I most definitely feel like I have, and I still am building a legacy with a lot of people and a lot of things daily, from family to um, business and just everywhere else. So church and all that kind of stuff. So yes, and there's still more that I'm just doing in life. Period. That's just adding to it, adding to it. Yeah.
So like with that though, but and because I can go personal for Ramiko, so I don't want to keep this like it's a personal thing. Um, but I'm gonna use him because I do know. So like with all that you do in life, so this same thing for you, Amos. Like with all that you're doing in life, is that your purpose of why you do what you do because of your legacy, or is that just who you feel like that's who you are? So it has nothing to do with like the whole I want to be remembered by like because I know, and I'm talking about like Ramiko does so much. He does so much for so many people. He's this to this organization. He's this to this person. He's this to this, and even with you, Amos, like you're in the schools. These kids, like this kid needs this from you. This kid requires this from you. You know this about this, and you become so much to so many people. But do you find yourself doing it because of the whole like this what I want to be, or that just who you are?
That's yeah.
Because the only reason why I'm asking this question too, just because like on a personal side, like that may not even be who you are personally though. Like I'm not a nice
Yeah.
person, because I know at least one of y'all not a nice person. So it's like you not like that's not who you are like personally, but that's who you end up being. Like, is that a thing though? Like that.
For me,
Um.
I do it because it's just in my heart. It's just what I do. You know, as far as my family and work, I've always been, a worker. I've always been a workaholic. Um, and I've always been that family guy, so being there for my family and doing things I do for my family and for my children and stuff like that is just something that hey, I do it because I just enjoy doing it, not anything that I feel like I just kind of have to do or for the hype of everybody around me. Church. Church is what I enjoy doing. What I've always felt like church has been something that I just have to do. I have to keep this face. I have to keep this walk. I have to keep this talk. I have to keep this image for the church, whether life beats me up or whether life hurts me, whether church beats me up and hurts me, or whether everything's all good. I still have to keep this nothing is ever wrong face for the church and the people of the church, the sick place, the hospital, the wounded place, the place where everybody is broken. But when it comes to certain people within the church and the leaderships that many of us carry, we can be around these wounded and broken people, but we can't be wounded and broken ourselves. We can't make a mistake. We can't bump into any walls, but we have to be always there to pick people up. So, yes, I know you didn't ask for it, but you kind of did. Two-sided is that the family and my children, because they're different, they're not the same. I don't look at them as the same. I don't look at my cousins, my mom, my sister, and brother and grandparents and all them in the same eye that I look at my children. I am their foundation. I am their rock. I am their all in all, and I have to. I do this because I love doing it, and I want them to have the same type of model when they grow up. And of course learn things on their own too, and put those things in. And then the family, the things that we do for our families and stuff like that. But then when it comes to the other side of the church, it's kind of like, I do it. Would I love to back away from it and just be just a regular okey doke person? I would, but I also understand that when you've been in for so long, it's not as easy to back up unless you just totally disappear from every single thing.
No, I
So
I
yeah,
get
I don't
it.
know if
I get
that's
it.
I
No,
don't know if that
that
was
that
too
hit it.
much, but
No, that hit it. That hit it.
yeah.
Amos, what about you? Like you find yourself
Ooh.
like having to put
Um,
on for the kids.
I don't think so at all. I feel as though that it's just the what I give off to other people, regardless if it's a kid at school, even if it's like a server that I'm encountering with, if I'm in an office at pop, like I feel like I give off the same energy to every single person, but I also um, what I give off in my work and what I put into my work is just who I am as a person. Is no different. Yeah, I don't see it being any different at all if I was in a different situation or if I was in a different profession. And I like what Rameco was saying as well too, and how how he has that different vision from his family and how he has it with his kids as well. Because even though I mean I didn't birth them or anything like that, but like that's how I look for my through my siblings. I have younger siblings like I have 9 year
Younger
olds.
than you?
Yeah, like I have
Oh,
two 10 year old siblings and I got a 2 year old sister.
oh.
So it's yeah, but yeah, that's a different conversation. But anyways, like it's just like that. Like I give my siblings constantly throughout the week, and I'm teaching them, like, I'm teaching them different life skills, and I'm teaching them about different things that I feel like I wanted to be taught, like, at a young age. It is definitely nothing against, like, my parents, because, like, my parents, they were amazing, and I feel like they raised me the best way they could. But I do feel as though, like, having another, like, role model in your life, and not just as, I mean, of course, I'm their big brother at the end of the day, but looking at it more than that as well too. I want them to be able to grow up, and even if it's not like, they don't go down the same path as me, definitely okay. But I do want to make sure that they are going down a path that's going to lead them to success. That's going to lead them, down a path of a feeling of I don't know what good word I'm looking for, but I just want to make sure that they understand that, that the world, that they have to have a certain presentation for themselves as well. So then that way that they leave a positive legacy as well when they get older, and when they start to build that as well for themselves too. So yeah, I do it for me. I do it for my siblings, but just because I just feel as though, like, kind of tying back into what we were talking about earlier, like, I feel like just being kind to other people just goes a long way.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I love it. So and it's what I'm gonna ask next, kind of like Rameco hit on it, which he didn't even know. Well, he might have, because y'all did get some questions. But the pressure to live a certain kind of legacy, do you feel it? And how do you manage it? So you kind of already talked about it, Meek, a little bit about like the pressures on one side of it.
Yeah.
But like even in that, like how do you manage it? Because it can be a lot. Like definitely on the church side, like family pressure is one thing. The church pressure is a whole different thing.
It's
And I think
different.
and it really wasn't, and not, now just because we're having this conversation, it really wasn't until like we really built our relationship that I learned that that was a thing. Like because
Mm,
I didn't like I kind of didn't live like like with that pressure, and
yeah.
I'm in the church, but it was like it wasn't until like like got close, and it was like, oh, that's the real thing. Like, and I
Mhm.
started seeing it, like my eyes started getting open. I'm like, oh, that's a real thing. Like, and then I started getting other friends that was like, oh, they don't do what I do, because it's
It's
like
different. Yeah.
it's different. Like, it's crazy, and that's a real thing. So, do you feel pressure to live a certain type of
So
legacy?
for me, no, I don't feel pressure. That's the thing. I've never allowed anybody, any situation, to box me into something to where I just feel like, oh my God, I gotta. No, I don't. I have not. Um, for me, because I'm real big on even still like just ignoring people and things, to where I can still manage everything that I do in every aspect, from the salon to the church to the family to the children and the hotels and stuff like that, whatever. I can block those things and have like a nonchalant mindset and attitude to it, but still be very productive in everything that I'm supposed to do, and still be able to close my ear gates of everything around me and stuff like that. Now, it's this part that don't be so easy for me to stop. But I am getting real good day by day with the Lord's help to stop this dangerous tongue. But most definitely things around me. I have just balanced. I've always been a balancer when it comes, to anything, and I know that we're in the days now, and of course this is y'all profession, but we're in the days now to where people are talking more and more about seeing therapists and things like that, whatever. I went to a therapist one time because I was in a relationship. I was in a relationship that was really, really bad, jumped right into another one that was even worse. And it was to that point where I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna hurt them. And so I went to a therapist one time to have one conversation. I'm thinking like I could have handled that part myself, because the therapist ain't said nothing to me to make me want to, like, but it was real, real cool. So it was really kind of like, I went, and, don't knock it at all. I'll never go back to one. Nothing towards y'all. I promise you, it's nothing towards y'all. But I've been able to just honestly just allow myself to deal with the pressure, the buildups, because it gets to that point to where it is like a pressure cooker, and you got so much, stirring up, and as the heat just rises, just flowing to the top, and your head's ready to pop and stuff like that. It's been one of the things where I literally have just been able to just, woosah in my own little way and calm things down to where, okay, church, I'm gonna mute you for a minute, I'm gonna mute you for a minute, I'm gonna mute my kids for a minute, and I'm gonna calm down and put myself before everything else. And then after a while, which don't take long, I come back to everything else. So the pressure, no, it's just been more so with the church of, you know, uh um we're in a new day in church, and we all know that, to where, you can, vent, you can do whatever. With, there should always be just that little balance beam to where you got to be careful of how you do it. So I've always been real, real careful with, balancing even the church and the things that happen in the church and, stuff like that or whatever. So that's just how I function.
I love it, and what I will say, just a disclaimer, for the mental health piece. Um, he said something there, y'all, and I
What
want
I
y'all to be
say?
mindful of it. He
What I
tried
say?
it one time. What I
I
want you to
did
be
one time.
mindful of, the therapist. You tried therapy one time. It's like it's a work in progress. So
No,
after one
one
time, you're
time.
not gonna find results. No, hold on, because the only reason I'm saying that is because I don't look that
I'm
way.
pointing at the person on your shirt who needs the therapy. But
I got a therapist, and I'm in my third week with her. I'm in my third week, and
praise the
it's
Lord.
it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. And he's right though. I do need a therapist, and she is phenomenal.
Three
And
of them. Three of them.
I'll
Oh,
push her every day. But it's a work in progress thing. Like
it is. Yeah.
so like that one time, like actually after my first time, I actually felt like I was already ready, like, to make some progress and change.
But that's what
But
I'm
that's
saying.
because it's where you are too. But the thing is,
Exactly.
you were in a place where you knew you could step back, take some breaths, remove
Mhm.
yourself, and put yourself in that space. Everybody's
Right.
not in that place. So the fact that you were there, you may have not needed
That's
one.
true, and that's why only one time, in my opinion, one time works for me
Yeah.
because one, are we live? I thought we were pre-recording. Are we
Oh my
live?
God, you're not supposed to say that.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, it don't matter. But anyway, so I was always under the impression that not impression mindset to where I don't mind going to talk to somebody, but I didn't want it to be an African American. I didn't want to be a black person. One, because mentally I feel like I was so wrapped around this Cincinnati life and this Cincinnati world and this church world. If I go see Kerry, all Kerry gonna do is end up seeing
Gonna
Amos,
talk
and
to
I know
someone.
Amos, and Kerry gonna tell Amos. So that was like my mindset, of seeing
Hmm.
African Americans and seeing therapists. Now, the therapist I went to was a Caucasian lady. It was really, really actually cool, and Carrie might agree, but afterwards, and I even told her, I said, I felt like I kind of had a bipolar moment to where I
Oh
cried, then I laughed, and then I calmed down, then I cried and laughed, and I
yeah.
calmed down again. It was one of those moments, but even doing that, because I had never done it. So in this one session, I was able to talk about not just that relationship moment. I was able to talk about childhood, teenage years, mid adult life to, at that time, and I was in my 30s when I went, to even that time of adult life to where I was able to talk and for the first time listen to somebody tell me that maybe I was overthinking because I had never
Mhm.
had that before. So to now hear it from this person said, well, maybe you're overthinking. Maybe you should go back and look at this and go back and look at that. And I'm thinking, but no, I don't want to because that was wrong, that was wrong, that was wrong. But I wasn't taking into account of what I was possibly doing that was wrong too. And at that moment, all that stuff there, and this goes back to the whole, balancing and, pressure and stuff like that, whatever. I was able to release so much. I didn't feel like I needed to go back because I talked verbally about things that, and it wasn't one of the things where it's like the TV. You sitting on this chair reclining back, and she's they're sitting in the and I don't know if maybe they do it, but I was sitting in a regular chair, and I was able to vent out so much and release so many different me's, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, there are
That
so many
caused me
reasons.
to be cool. So yeah, that's why I feel like one time only worked for me just at one time. I'm
Yep.
not against going back, but I just feel like one time was great for me at that time.
No, that works. That works. That works. I love that.
Sorry if I kind of went overboard with
No,
that.
no, you did that. You did that. I feel like this was your therapy session. I'm gonna send you our
Oh.
I'm gonna send you our Apple our Ivy Pay link for this session. Um the Amos, I'm gonna ask you this question and then we have I want y'all to put your minds on. I ask every week for some
Okay.
for our guests to like leave a gem, something that we can like be like remember, help us be pushed through to next week. So if y'all can drop some type of gem, some like wisdom that we live by, that's what we'll do before we leave. So put your mind on that. But Amos, do you feel any pressures to live a certain kind of legacy and how do you manage it?
Whew. I'm go. I'm gonna be honest. Yes. I definitely feel as though that. But one thing I want to touch on too is like I definitely feel as though that. I think it was Rameco that mentioned it. One of you guys mentioned it. The overthinking portion of things. Like
Ramiko.
I figured he would. Okay, so like I do feel as though that I'm in my head a lot because I'm glad that everybody's mentioning it because I myself like I'm starting to go back to therapy myself. Like I was doing therapy probably like about 2 years ago. It was going pretty well when I was going through a certain situation, and then I kind of just stopped going, and I'm kind of go back into it, and I'm starting to recognize just a lot of more things again about myself, and I feel like, again, this is part of just my overall development as a whole. Why that face?
Sorry, it's not you, it's
Oh,
him.
okay. Oh,
Sorry.
okay. But no, I just feel like just like my overall, just like again, just like development for this plays a huge part into it. But I feel like sometimes in my head it can be a pressure to be like exceptional in some areas, just like be seen. Sometimes it could just be exhausting, but I feel like it's just because I have so many different hats on my head. Like I'm worrying about making sure that everybody's comfortable, like being like maybe just like around me or just like everybody else in the room. But I feel like it all ties back into reminding myself like that my existence alone is just enough. Like I feel like that's a big thing that I try to say for myself, um or try to remind myself, sorry, is that like again, my existence alone is enough. I don't have to like necessarily be like a savior, or like I have to necessarily have um or yeah, I don't have to be a savior or like a symbol or anything. I just have to be like real. Just have to be present in the moment, be intentional. I feel like those things are very important to hold on to and to remember. Definitely for sure. Um, yeah, like it's just all about like the impact in the moment, and I feel like that just kind of helps me relax, kind of helps me breathe in that moment, or any type of situation that I feel like that I'm being or that I'm feeling any type of pressure from. um yeah.
I love it. I mean, I think that's a good thing. That you're mindful of that, and and I support you 100% in going back to therapy. So kudos to you. Yes.
Agreed.
I'm new to it, so I'm not gonna act like I've been in this thing. Well, I'm not new to the mental health world, but for me, actually seeking my own journey, this is new.
Yeah,
So,
it's a process. You will learn a lot about yourself.
yes,
A lot.
definitely. In
So
3 weeks, I've already like, I'm checked out. Yeah, I'm checking out, but I'm glad that I'm becoming mindful of some things. So before we get off, thank y'all again. Y'all do us a favor, share, comment, like these videos that we post every week. This was a great conversation talking about our legacy, the legacy we're leaving behind, what we want to be remembered for. There is one quick question that I'll ask: if you could be remembered for just one thing, what would it be? Ramiko.
Um, this is gonna be crazy from you anyway, toward you. I want to be remembered for just being nice.
I'm probably gonna lose my job for this. I just want people to know that.
Now, listen, listen,
But
listen,
go
listen. I'm saying that because there's people that's not as connected to me as you. So you you're gonna look at me at a different level of niceness. There are some people who really, really genuinely know and believe that I'm a nice person.
They do. And like
So
I
yeah.
literally be arguing with people like I literally have been in conversations. They be like, oh my God, he's so nice. Like
Because I really am a nice
they be
person.
like, oh,
It's
I want to sing with him. I said, no, you don't. And then they come
I'm
sing
tough
with
on
you. And
y'all, but I really am a kind and nice person. So that's what I
I
want to
love
do.
it. I love it. So he want to be remembered for being nice. I love that. I love that. That's a good thing. Kudos. Keep
Yeah.
going. Amos.
Um, I think I want to be just remember for the people. mm, that I help feel seen. I feel like again, it's just of course a work in progress, but I feel like we live in a world that like often like sometimes erases or sometimes overlooks certain voices. So I just want to be remembered for helping someone feel like that that they matter, especially like our youth too today. I do feel like there's a lot going on, like today, but I do feel like there's something that's being missed. I feel like you know that's a whole different conversation. I can go on for hours about that, but it's just yeah. That's really leave it at that. Yeah,
So
just
I
just
love
for
it. I
feeling,
love
just for making other people feel
other
seen.
people feel seen.
So
Yeah, I
yes.
love it. I love it. I've actually been in spaces with you outside of the work field, and you made me feel seen because I would have never came up to you like outside, and you came over to me, and I was like, oh,
I
okay.
thought it was just a respectful thing to do. I'm just like, hey, like
I would have stayed on my side.
I.
You, I'm just playing. I'm just no, I'm just playing. No, I'm not, but I'm just playing. But thank y'all, guys. Thank y'all so much for taking this time out to have this conversation. I'm gonna ask. I know, Amos, you just talked, but if you could just leave us one gem until next Wednesday.
Mm, like
I gave
a
you plenty of time to think about
I
this.
know you did. I did not think. I don't know. Just be, mm, be you. Be you. Just continue. Is that a good one?
That's a good one. That's a
We'll
good
go with
one.
that.
No, that's a
Be
good one.
just be you.
Just be you.
Just go out and do it. What's the Nike say? Just do it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
be
okay. I
you
like it.
and just
Yeah.
do it. I
Yeah.
like it. I like it. I like it. Um, Santuan, who are you this week?
I would say, and first of all, I do want to apologize. I'm a sitter today. My baby didn't go to daycare today, and I'm trying to hide her down here. And I kept walking away because she was on the couch, and I didn't want her to fall off the couch. So I would say I would leave behind. Um, he pretty much said it. Be uniquely you. There is only one you. You matter, and you should matter to you at all times. In spite of how people think you should be, you matter to yourself. And if you don't know and find yourself and realize your worth and who you are, you never ever find it. So you should, and you know, think about it. You will find it. Some people find it sooner than others. But be uniquely you at all times.
I love it. I love that. Like I love it. I'm gonna try that this next week. I'm gonna try to be me and see how that works. And I'll report back next week, y'all. I'm so grateful and thankful that y'all took this time out. And I know she wants to be seen. She's the Lattimore. So anyhow, but I'm thankful that y'all took this time out for us to come have this conversation. Y'all, we're here every week. Join us on this platform on YouTube. Visit our website. You can learn so much more about Poppy's Therapeutic Corner and the work that we're doing in the Midwest. We're excited about it. I'm grateful, and I'll see y'all next week. Be blessed. Love y'all.
Thank you.
Wakanda
Thanks for
forever.
having us.
Wakanda forever. Have a good day.